Taco Bell hotline. Why are they going to win? Why are they going to lose? Prater, we just want Bronco Nation to come on and hype this sucker up with us and tell us how they're feeling. Optimistic, pessimistic. Like, what are you guys feeling on this team? Light it up. 208-424-9300. Prater, in your opinion, does a win tonight put them in regardless of what they do if they do play tomorrow in a conference championship game and maybe don't get that one? Or they want this win away from the dance, in your opinion?
I mean, first of all, full disclosure, I don't study the bubble as much as I probably have in the past and as much as I should, especially since Boise State. I really, I've kind of eliminated the Boise State bubble talk for the last couple of weeks just because they needed to get their own house right. But they've got their own house right, and Boise State is on that bubble, and in some cases, Boise State's one step ahead of the bubble. If Boise State wins tonight, I can't imagine them not going to the NCAA tournament. Maybe tonight and maybe tomorrow. The difference between that is a game in Dayton versus a game in the main 64 draw when the tournament starts next Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you'll feel, what about this? If you lose tonight, it's NIT.
Probably.
I mean, you're hoping they'd be the fourth Mountain West team in, or maybe if you get Colorado State to also lose tonight, and then they would be out. They don't have the measurements maybe that Boise State does, and then you're looking at New Mexico and Utah State in for sure.
Yep.
Who's that third Mountain West team? Is it San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State? That's kind of one of those three, maybe. But, dude, you're not making a lot of plans for Selection Sunday if that is the case. What's your scenario? Call 208-424-9300. This is big time. And not only that, but there's a Tyson Degenhart record at stake. That's why this could be one of the great Boise State Friday night basketball parties, Prater, that this program hasn't had in a long time or has ever had. What if they win tonight, beat the Lobos, and Tyson Degenhart gets 18 points or more, which will mean they're playing for the Mountain West title tomorrow, and they have a new all-time scoring champion. 208-424-9300.
Boise State basketball, the gift that just keeps on giving. I don't know where to feel about this team anymore. At one point, I feel like after that Colorado State loss, I want to trade Leon Rice to another basketball team. And now I want Tyson Degenhart to stand up at the top of the podium and just scream and yell and take his team to a championship, take his team to a scoring record, put himself at the top of the scoring book and surpass Tanaka Beard, a record that's lasted since 1993. Tyson Degenhart had 32 points in that last game against New Mexico. We all saw that inside Extra Mile Arena. He's not going to get 32 tonight, I don't think. You never know how that's going to work out, but 18 certainly seems like it's in the cards. We just talked to Bob Bueller, BJ Raines. They both think that Tyson Degenhart can play a monster game inside and work his magic, but certainly on the outside, Peanut Carmichael, Andrew Meadow, those guys have to be able to shoot the ball as well. So a lot going on tonight. Very excited about this game, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah, how do you guys – I think Tyson's going to get the 18. I would be, surprised if he doesn't, because that's his average. He averages about 18 this year. I think that's going to happen. What do you guys think? What does Tyson need to do to get this win? And it's crazy too, Prater, because in most cases, that record would be top of mind on a lot of things, and it shouldn't be. Like, if you're a Boise State fan and you're like, hey, I'd rather have the record tonight than a win, then what are you doing? Like, there's too much at stake for this team. Don't worry, callers. We'll get to you, and we still do have some lines open if you also want to hop on.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But the one thing to keep in mind is Andrew Meadow has gone on this 6-game run where he's averaging more than 20 points a game. Tyson's scoring has backed off. He has scored only 18 points once in his last 6 games.
Prater coming with the stats, man. Coming with the stats and facts.
I think it's going to be close. And again, obviously he had that 32 against the Lobos before, but only once in the last 6 games. And that was the 21 points against Utah State. Utah State playing tonight against Colorado State in the 10 o'clock game, 10 o'clock Mountain, midnight Eastern time. That's the second semifinal. Winner plays tomorrow afternoon. That's a tough turnaround, by the way, for the late game. They get done about 12:30. You're not getting to sleep till before 2 o'clock in the morning. No. And then what's the time? What is it, 3 or 4 tomorrow is the title game?
Yeah.
I forgot my little bracket here. 3 or 4 sometime in the middle of the afternoon. That's a tough turnaround for the night winner
4
tonight.
o'clock Mountain Time.
Okay, there you go.
Really tough turnaround. Where do you guys want to go, Bronco Nation? First up, we got the fabulous Baker Boy on our Taco Bell hotline. Bring it. What do you know? What do you say?
All right, new pair of lucky socks are going good. Different top, same hat.
What?
We're gonna go tomorrow. The ring is polished.
You can't change the socks after a victory like that yesterday.
No, Prater, you always change the socks. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Otherwise, people won't want to watch the game with me. I don't share my good friend Mike Prater's enthusiasm for the game plan yesterday. However, in the 2 previous games this year against New Mexico, the aggressor was the team that ended up winning. And so that's what I'm hoping for and praying for tonight is we come out and take it to them and are super, super aggressive. When we played down there, they were able to run us kind of out of the gym and really highlight their athleticism and speed and quickness and vertical and shooting and all that kind of stuff. Last night's matchup, San Diego State, those are 2 teams that kind of like to play the same way. They would prefer if the game were held in a phone book. Tonight it's going to be contrasting styles. And I think the team that more aggressively imposes the style they want to play on the other team is going to win the game.
What do you think that style is, caller? Appreciate it. What do you think that style is that Boise State wants to play?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised tonight if we go back to a little bit more of what we like to try to do, which is to get the ball down and then kick it back out for some open shots and some open threes. But we're going to have, if we do that, they will start to play zone. I mean, that's kind of been one of our Achilles heel. I also think we're going to see more press tonight because I do think they want to speed the game up. And we have more guys than we have had in the past who can take the ball up the court, who can handle it. But I think they're going to want to try to, again, take the ball out of Cardenas's hands, try to get him full court, get Dent, just athletic point guards, try to get up in Cardenas's grill. But I do think we try to get it down to Stanley, down to Degenhart, back down, wait for the double team, kick it out, pass it around, and try to get that open look. That's the way we played most of the year against teams that are trying to speed up the game. That's how we tend to try to slow the game back down.
Always appreciate the insight. There's our wonderful caller, Jeff, biggest Boise State fan we have on our Taco Bell hotline in most cases. I didn't ask if he was down there or not, Prater, but he's fired up, obviously, and I'll ask all the other listeners. I mean, if Boise State wins this game, if Boise State wins this game, how are they in the tournament regardless? If they don't, how are they? What are your scenarios? What are you looking for with this game tonight if they obviously win? And how many points do you think Tyson Degenhart is going to score here?
One of the things I'll be looking for tonight is something that Boise State's been doing fantastic the last couple of games, just the offensive rebounding and the second chance points. They were so spectacular against Colorado State last week until things fell apart in that area. They were again spectacular there last night in terms of doing that. And then in the second half, when they really needed it last night against San Diego State, offensive rebound, the defensive rebounding, the quick transition of offense and getting off there and being the aggressor like Jeff Baker just talked about right there on that phone call. So I think that's the rebounding is certainly, I mean, New Mexico is going to be able to get after it, and they do things a little bit differently, but Boise State's offensive rebounding and second chance points have been dominant the last couple of games. That has to continue tonight, Ballgame.
How many points does Tyson need to score to feel good about Boise State winning this game? The only time they beat New Mexico this year, Tyson Degenhart went for his career high. I mean, is that on the game plan? Is there a matchup? Do they like that style of play where Tyson Degenhart has New Mexico? That's kind of what we're hearing. If San Diego State is not going to allow Tyson to be Tyson, well, New Mexico might in that situation. Taco Bell hotline 208-424-9300. Is this the biggest basketball game since what? Non-tournament edition, non-tournament, non-NCAA tournament. This is a big one for Boise State tonight. They take on the number 1 seed, New Mexico. They're 1.5 point favorites, and we're getting you guys going right now. Zach says, Prater, if Daggy gets his 18, we are in good position to win. Winning doesn't necessarily guarantee Daggy gets his 18. However, he would be within a couple points for the championship game. That's obviously, if they win the game, who cares if Tyson scores 2 or 3 points?
Yeah, if they win the game tonight, he's going to get that record eventually, and then that won't be a problem. He only had 14 points, guys, in that game at New Mexico. That's the game where that first half, Leon Rice said they got punked. You know, it's funny, Leon Rice he's had the punked game. He's had the rock bottom game. I give you the gut punch game, and they've survived every one of them. So Tyson Degenhart, he actually shot pretty well in 5 of 11 in that game down in New Mexico, 1 of 5 from 3-point range, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He needs to get to the free throw line just a little bit more. I think in the 32-point game against New Mexico, if I remember right, he was like 13 of 16 or something like that from the free throw line. Tyson Degenhart shaking his hips, moving his feet, and creating a lot of space down there in the paint is beautiful basketball to watch, and it usually draws a foul. So if he can complete that deal, get to the foul line, that's where also Boise State, the offensive rebounding, the second half points, and the free throw shooting. That's what's going to lead to them to win this basketball game tonight.
Who's your X factor, guys? 208-424-9300 Taco Bell hotline. Is it the RJ Keene? Is it Omar Stanley? Is it someone else? Peanut taking away kind of, Tyson, Alvaro, Meadow. Who else? I mean, Meadow, like Prater said, he's been bringing it, dropping 20 a night over the last 5 games, really has been that score. One of the biggest games this program has had in a while tonight. If you lose, you are probably not dancing. Probably safe to say not dancing. You need a Selection Sunday miracle. If you win, you might already be in, or you might still have more work to be done. How are you guys feeling about this game tonight? You more confident they'll win? Are you more confident they will lose? Prater's got a thought on this. Prater, to hold it. We're going to get it. We come back. It's Idaho Sports Talk. Prater on the ball game. KTIK, the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio, this is Ticket Traffic.
This drive check brought to you by Fredrickson Health Insurance. Are your employee benefits and HR driving you crazy? Well, pump the brakes. Fredrickson has the solution. At no additional cost, they can simplify HR and employee benefits. Call Fredrickson at